One of the coolest things about blockchain is that you have open access to a brand new financial system. It's completely permissionless, and in many cases, this presents new opportunities for people with coding skills to actually take advantage of this and create applications or bots that earn money. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to show you how to create an application or a bot that buys brand new cryptocurrencies as soon as they hit the market. This is called a coin sniping bot, and this is something I've seen a lot of people talking about. So I want to make this video for you all today. So if that's something that you're interested in, then make sure you watch this whole tutorial, subscribe to this channel, turn on notifications, smash that like button. And if you're new around here, hey, I'm Gregory, and on this channel, I turn you into a blockchain master. And I first created this video for my members inside of our Dapp University community, but I've decided to make this one public for you all much later because it's such a hot topic. And so if you like what you see and you want to see more videos like this, then make sure you sign up today over at dappuniversity.com/bootcamp. All right, with that being said, let's get started. All right, so let's look at what we're going to create today in this project. So we are going to look at a cryptocurrency exchange like Uniswap and buy new coins that are listed as soon as they are listed, okay? So basically, Uniswap is a decentralized cryptocurrency exchange. How it works is, basically you can tell it what cryptocurrency you have and you tell it what cryptocurrency you want to buy and you just click swap, okay? It's powered by smart contracts. It's on a blockchain. Okay, there's no centralized middlemen controlling what coins can be listed on Uniswap. The really cool thing is that, anybody in the community can basically add a cryptocurrency to Uniswap, and you as a developer have full access to all that code on the blockchain with smart contracts, and you can actually create a bot that watches for new cryptocurrencies anytime they are added to Uniswap by the community and just buys them automatically. Okay, that's one potential strategy that you can create for accumulating cryptocurrency is just buy anything, maybe a little bit of anything. It's like a speculative bet anytime it hits Uniswap. I'm going to show you how to do that in this tutorial. So let's get a quick overview of how Uniswap works, all right, so that you can understand how that you are going to be able to create this bot that can, look for new coins and buy them whenever they hit the market, okay? So if you look at a website like we saw a second ago with Uniswap, that website talks directly to the blockchain where the smart contracts are. So you have a central, smart contract here, all right, that Uniswap kind of controls everything, where this is where the trader, whenever they talk to the website, it talks to this sort of central smart contract. But then on the back end, for every single cryptocurrency that Uniswap supports, there's these things called liquidity pools, okay? So like there's going to be trading pairs for each liquidity pool that powers the automated market makers. So you might have a pool that has two cryptocurrencies in it, like ETH and USDC, for example, or ETH USDC. You might have one that has like Link and ETH inside of it. So basically you have two cryptocurrencies that are trading pairs, and then all the trades get routed through these liquidity pools so that, the end user has liquidity. It has tokens. Whenever it says, like, you go to the website and you say, I have ETH and I want to buy USDC. Well, how does that happen? Well, it finds USDC is actually parked into the app. So we have liquidity providers on the back end who are the users who actually supply liquidity to these pools, okay? And they are incentivized to do this because they get a share of the trading fees. It's the whole decentralized incentives at play that power this app. So likewise, anybody can add a brand new liquidity pool to Uniswap with whatever token they want to, as long as they add a second cryptocurrency with that pair, and then Uniswap can now have it. So, you could have some fictitious pair like, a Dapp token, all right? And then as long as you put Dapp token and ETH inside that pool, then now you have an entirely new market that can be traded on Uniswap. And you as a developer can create a bot that finds out anytime somebody adds one of these pools and just buys a little bit of that cryptocurrency as a speculative bet. And so that's exactly what I'm going to show you how to do right now. All right, so let's go ahead and start coding this project, okay? So if you're watching this video inside the Blockchain Mastery Program, there should be a zip file down below, okay? If you're watching this video, maybe in a different location later, we might open up this repository for other people to, view it. So if you have the public repository link, if this repository is not private, you can just, go to your terminal and type in git clone and then paste in the repository, okay, and it'll download to your computer. So I've already done that. You, of course, want to enter into this directory and, go to the project directory to start running the bot, okay? So you definitely need some dependencies on your computer installed in order to do this. I'm not going to go through every dependency. If you're watching this on the Blockchain Mastery Program, we list all the dependencies here inside the README and how to install the initial requirements like Node.js, Truffle, and Ganache CLI. Okay, definitely go check out the videos in the video vault that explain exactly how to do that. Okay, so let's just go ahead and install the project-specific dependencies on our computer like this. We'll do npm install. Okay, and that will put everything in our package.json file onto our system here so that we can use all the project dependencies. And let's go ahead and open up the project here, okay? So you can see we've got some smart contracts in here, so the Truffle project. We have a bot script, okay, that's going to actually run the bot. We'll talk about that. We have a package.json file for all the packages, a truffle-config file that connects our project to the blockchain, and then finally some scripts that mimic the scenario of new liquidity pools being created on Uniswap. Okay, so let me explain how we're actually going to do this. All right, as a coding tutorial. So if you go back to this diagram that I showed you, with Uniswap on it. You can see all this complex logic here, this Uniswap contract, all these liquidity pools, all these active traders, okay? So how do we actually, simulate that on our development environment? Like, how do we build a bot where we can kind of, watch this happen in real time, okay? Because there's a real problem here. All the Uniswap smart contracts and liquidity pools are on the Ethereum blockchain or some other EVM-compatible chain or layer 2 environment, okay? They don't exist on our computer to play around with. So you got a couple options here. One is you could just fork Uniswap and set it up on your, development environment here. But this is a lot of code. Okay, that'd be pretty complex, and you'd have to rebuild all the state of this. All right. You could try to just write a bot that, interacts with the Ethereum blockchain and actually, spends money in real time to create a sniping bot. But that's probably not what we want either. Okay. So the final solution is actually to create a copy of all this stuff on our blockchain, our development blockchain, so that we can basically get a copy of the entire blockchain on our computer to develop against. And that's exactly what we're going to do with Ganache CLI. So Ganache is a development blockchain that lets us, run a blockchain on a computer so that we don't have to, spend any real money. We can put smart contracts on our blockchain for free. We can get free cryptocurrency to play around with, all right? But there's a limitation with Ganache out of the box, which is it doesn't know about, Uniswap. It doesn't know about all these other cryptocurrencies. So how can we do that? Well, basically, Ganache has a command line interface version, so Ganache CLI, and that actually has a fork option, okay? So you can actually fork Ganache as long and point it to the main Ethereum blockchain to get all its information, its state, all its cryptocurrencies, all its applications, everything, access to that on your computer so that you can play around with that stuff without, spending any real money. So we're going to have something that looks like this, okay? So out here on the actual Ethereum blockchain, you have Uniswap, okay? But how do we get access to Uniswap? Right here, we have, our bot that we're building, all right? We're going to connect it to Ganache, our development blockchain, but it doesn't know about, Uniswap up here. So how does it do that? Well, you can connect Ganache to the blockchain to learn about Uniswap and everything else in the blockchain. So how do you do that? Well, to talk to the blockchain, you talk to a node, all right? This is just a computer that acts as a gateway to the blockchain. Again, a blockchain is a peer-to-peer network of nodes that all talk to one another and have a redundant copy of the state, et cetera, et cetera. So you just need access to a node, all right? And that node is going to give you access to everything on the blockchain, including Uniswap, other account balances, all the cryptocurrencies. And so how do you get access to a node? Well, you could download one and install it yourself, or you could just access a remote node on somebody else's server, which is fine for development purposes in this case. So we're going to use Alchemy for this. All right. So head over to alchemy.com. You can log in and you can create an app for free. And that's going to give you access to, an Ethereum node. All right. You're going to have a WebSocket URL. Just go to the documentation and find out how to create an Alchemy key. All right. It's pretty straightforward. All right. Whenever you're done, actually view the key, copy the URL for your mainnet address, and we'll start setting up our project. All right, so let's go ahead and set up our blockchain to point to the real blockchain, as in Ganache, our development blockchain. Let's point it to the real one, okay? So make sure you got that Alchemy API key from the previous step, and we're going to look at the documentation here. And run this in your terminal. So we're going to do this ganache CLI command. We're going to pass it the -f command, which tells it to fork the blockchain. We're going to put in our API URL for Alchemy. Make sure you use the WebSocket version, because that's what's going to allow us to listen to new pairs created on the blockchain. Okay. And then, use this string and then paste into your into your terminal. But in this place right here where it says, your app key, you actually want to put your real mainnet key from Alchemy here. So don't paste in your app key, put your, URL key here. Your Alchemy key here. Then you want to put this -m, all right, for your mnemonic. I'll show you how you can do that in a second. Put in your mnemonic phrase, and then we're going to unlock this specific account, all right, and then -p for 7545. So I'll just copy this. You see what I'm talking about here. The easiest thing to do is do ganache CLI first. Okay, sorry, let me do that again. Ganache CLI. And then you can just run ganache once without all these options, and you can find this mnemonic seed phrase, okay? So what this is going to do is let you act as the same wallet over and over again whenever you start ganache. So that way, every time you restart it, it doesn't just change wallets. You could save the same wallet over and over again. Of course, you don't want to use this mnemonic seed phrase on screen, okay? Because that's going to basically, you don't want to put any real cryptocurrency in this wallet, because anybody's watched this video or seen your mnemonic seed phrase in plain text could steal your money. So trust me, I'm not storing any crypto in this mnemonic. Neither should you. And so you could save that. You could put it in a text editor. Okay. But then you want to take all these values and put it in here, and then start ganache CLI this way. All right. Actually fill in the values and have your blockchain running. All right. So, I have started ganache here, and you can see my accounts here. So you do the same thing. I recommend having it in a different terminal tab. You could use whatever app you want to, or you could open a new tab in terminal. Okay. I realize that part of my mnemonic is showing. It's not a big deal. I don't use this for real. I know somebody commented on my videos, "Hey, your mnemonic showing," but that's okay. So I mean, it's not ideal, but I don't put any real crypto in this wallet, so don't worry. Anyways, open that in a new terminal tab. Keep it running in the background. And then we're going to go ahead and follow the other steps in this README here. Okay. We can go ahead and open their project again, see what else is in here. So we got the contracts. Okay. This is a token. We're just going to put a token on the blockchain and create a new liquidity pool. Okay. You can see that inside the migrations directory here. Deploy contracts. We're going to put a new token on the blockchain. Okay. Then we have a script inside of here that lets us sort of set the scenario up, and a script that also lets us create a pool so we can watch the bot take place in real time. Okay. So what we're going to do is actually run this bot file here. We'll explain the code here in a second, but we're going to start the bot. Okay. So that it is just watching for new pools getting created. All right. So we can run the bot in a separate tab like this. All right. We can basically just open this over here. Maybe open a new tab here, and we can do, let's just copy the command from the documentation here, make sure I'm doing it right. So it's just node bot-js. All right, we're going to demo it, and then we'll explain the code after. All right, so it's listening for new pairs. This bot's just going to sit there and listen for new pairs added to Uniswap. Now what we can do is go ahead and create a pair. So what are the steps to do that? Well, we want to create a new fictional cryptocurrency. All right. We're going to take this token here. This is just an off-the-shelf token from the Open Zeppelin library. Okay. We don't need to code one ourselves. We can just get it from a library for free. All right. And then we can put on the blockchain with our migration contract. All right. Or our migration script. So we'll say truffle migrate -- reset. Wait for this to finish. All right. Nothing's changing about our bot. Because we haven't actually added any new pairs on Uniswap yet. All right, it's just, it's listening for that, but we haven't done anything yet. But next, what we're going to do is actually, set up a scenario. We're going to run this script that's called fund.js. All right. So what it does is it pulls in our, it's gonna take in our cryptocurrency we created here, this ERC20 token, just the interface for it. It's going to get WETH, which is the pair that we want to use for our Uniswap pool. It's going to take the unlocked account, all right, which is just an account that we found on the mainnet that's going to have have some WETH so that we can actually obtain WETH. The whole point is whenever we fork the blockchain, we have access to all the accounts. And so you can just go check this account on Etherscan right now. Okay. So if you ever have any trouble with this tutorial, in the wild, you could potentially change this address. For some reason, it doesn't have WETH. We can see that this address has quite a lot of money in it. All right. So you can see it has, $34 million in wrapped Ether or WETH at the time of recording this video. So we can pretend to be this account inside Ganache. That's exactly what we did whenever we forked the blockchain. We said, start the blockchain, point it to the mainnet, use my mnemonic seed phrase, but then unlock this account right here. So now we have pretended to be this account. We have access to it. We can pretend like, that's who we are. And so we unlock it here. We get access to our token. We get access to, the WETH contract. And then basically, we set up a scenario here where we have a deployer. This is one of our accounts from Ganache. And then the sniper, this is who's run the sniping bot. And then basically, we take an amount and we transfer a bunch of WETH from the deployer, okay? And then transfer a bunch of WETH from the sniper, okay? So this is going to give both, we transfer WETH from the unlocked account to the deployer and also some WETH from the sniper. So this is going to allow us to create a new liquidity pool on Uniswap and also have somebody who's going to run the bot. So one person is going to create a new Uniswap pool and the other person is going to buy the tokens. So we're buying tokens with WETH. We're also creating a new liquidity pool for WETH with WETH plus our token, and we need accounts funded to do that. So that's what the script does. It funds the deployer account that's going to create a new pool, and it funds the sniper bot who's going to buy some cryptocurrency, okay, with WETH. So now we're just going to log the balance of the deployer to make sure they have some WETH, all right, after the script is run. And then we're also going to, fund the sniper account and check their balance after this script is run. So this is just a truffle script. It's inside the truffle project. You can just run truffle exec, fund. So we can say truffle exec scripts 1 fund.js. We've numbered them so they're in order, order to run them in. So now the deployer has 10 WETH, so they can create a pool, and the sniper has 10 WETH so that they can, actually purchase some cryptocurrency and run the bot. So you can see the bot's not doing anything. It's just listening for new pairs. Now, if we were running this on the blockchain, it might detect real pairs right now. But for now, we have a test copy of the blockchain, and the only activity that's going to occur on it is the activity that we, do. So basically, whenever you fork Ganache, it just freezes the blockchain at the current state. It doesn't get any new state. You just freeze it at that point in time, and then you're adding all the new activity, all the new blocks after that right there. All right, so now we can actually observe the bot in action. So we're going to run a script that creates a Uniswap pool, okay, Uniswap pair. I'm saying, using those terms interchangeably. Whenever you create a new pool, it creates a new pair. And our bot is actually going to detect this, okay? So let's go ahead and do that. All right, you'll see the script in here. It's going to create a pool. So what it does is it pulls in our token that we coded in the project. All right, it gets the Uniswap router interface, and then it's going to create a new pool. So let's look at some key concepts in here to understand how this works really quickly before we continue. So you want to make sure you understand how the Uniswap router works, okay? So the Uniswap router, you can see the documentation here. This is the contract, okay? That is the main interface for Uniswap, all right? So when we're creating pools and stuff, we need to know about this right here. You can see the add liquidity function. This is how we add ETH liquidity. So we remove liquidity, all right? All that type of stuff. And so we create a new pool, we're going to need to add liquidity and things like that, which we'll see exactly in the in the script. And this is the documentation where you can read more on exactly how the Uniswap router works if you want to learn to manipulate this code for your own purposes. So we're pulling in the Uniswap router version 2. We have the ERC 20 interface. So basically, we create a new version of the Uniswap router with the actual mainnet address here. This is the JavaScript version of this contract. Okay, we basically just log out to the console that we are preparing to create a pool. The deployer, we set that up in a variable here, okay, and we get the WETH contract here. All right, this is the actual WETH smart contract on the mainnet. All right, we get our token that we deployed in the project here. We are going to give an equal ratio of tokens. We're going to say that the rate is now 250 WETH, and then 250 Dapp tokens. All right, and 1 WETH. You can see this is denominated in Ether here, but that really just means tokens. All right, we just treat this token like having 18 decimal places, just like WETH does. So we basically say 250 tokens is worth 1 WETH. That sets the price of the token. And so we have to approve the WETH if we're going to send it to the Uniswap. So we do that. And then we must approve the Dapp tokens before we send them to Uniswap. That's what we do there. Anytime that a different app is going to spend tokens on your behalf, you must approve it first. Okay. So now we create the Uniswap pool. That's what the add liquidity method is from the router here. So you can see, let's see here. This add liquidity function, it takes the first token, the second token, the amount desired for the first token, the amount desired for the second token, the minimum amount of the first token, the minimum amount of the second token, the to address, and then the deadline. So we add those here. All right. Here's the Dapp token address, the WETH address, the amount of each token. All right. And then basically the deployer address. Okay. And then the deadline. All right. So then we want to add the liquidity here. Okay. Actually, sorry, this is the estimate gas step, my fault. We estimate the gas first so that we can calculate the proper amount for the transaction. My fault. We estimate the gas first, and then we do the actual liquidity because we want to do the appropriate gas amount before we stick it on the network. Okay. So let's go ahead and run the script. Well, actually, before that, we're going to run that script like this. Okay. Let's just see in our documentation here. We can do truffle exec scripts to create pool. All right. And I don't want to run it just yet because when I do, the bot is going to actually purchase the tokens, but I want to explain how the bot works before we see it in action. All right. All right. So let's look at the script for the bot so you can see it inside of here. So what this is just a Node.js script, okay, that's going to run continuously on our computer. That's what we started right here. Okay, it's actually listening for pairs. So we have a bunch of setup here, which I'll explain in a second. But here's the main function that it sits there and listens for, is this main function, okay? And so what does it do? Well, we see the accounts configured here at the top where it gets the deployer account and the sniper account. These are, important addresses to use throughout this script. That's the first thing. But here's the real key to understand is effectively what this bot does is it listens for new pools created on Uniswap. And anytime a new pool is created, it runs this script to buy the tokens. So we'll step through the logic on that in a minute. But this is important to understand: is it listens for events and acts on those events whenever they take place. So you do that with Web3.js with this events right here. So you can see Web3 ETH contract. This is the contract interface of Web3.js. Anytime you have a JavaScript version of this contract, which we've created right here, okay, you have access to all the events anytime they occur. So smart contracts can emit events. So anytime a smart contract function logs an event, all right, inside the Solidity code in JavaScript, you can listen to the events. Okay, so you can just see the event happen here, and you can act on it. It has all this data inside of it, and then you can take the information out of that event and then act on it because you know something happened on the blockchain. So these events are coming from the Uniswap factory. So earlier we talked about the Uniswap router, which is what you need to access anytime you create liquidity pools. It's the add liquidity function. But underneath the hood there's a separate smart contract, the Uniswap factory, that actually creates the pools on the back end. So the router it ends up talking to the factory to create a new pool. All right. So, we have this pair created event. All right. You can see this pair created in the code. Pair created event. It is emitted each time a pair is created via the create pair function, which it ends up getting called whenever you do add liquidity on the factory. So anytime this event is emitted, we can find the information about the token. All right, the first token and the second token. So it's going to be our Dapp token and WETH, and the pair address. Okay, so we need access to this Uniswap contract, which we get the ABI for the smart contract from the Uniswap router, the Uniswap SDK. So we get the factory, the Uniswap factory. It's just in our package.json file. We pull in the factory ABI. We get the router ABI. We get the pair ABI, the ERC20 ABI. Okay. We have our Web3 connection at the top. We get the router factory address, the router address. Okay. We create JavaScript versions of them here for the factory, the router, WETH. All right. We have some other settings. We'll talk about those in a second. But then we basically we have our JavaScript version of the Uniswap factory. We look at the events and we look for the pair created event. And anytime the pair created event gets triggered, we are going to run this script inside of here. So what does it do? Well, basically, it gets the information from the event, each token, all right, and the pair address. So it tells you here's this first token, here's the second token, here's the pair address. Okay, so it calculates the swap path because we want to listen for this, and then we want to go back to the Uniswap router and actually purchase tokens. Okay, so we need to tell it how to do that. So we need the pair and the token. All right, and then we check the reserves to get the price, and then we actually do the swap here. So we get the settings for the swap exact tokens for tokens function. You can see that's at this Uniswap documentation. Swap exact tokens for tokens. This is what actually does the trade. So we tell it the amount in, the amount out, the address for the call data, and then to, and then the deadline. Okay, you can see all that in the documentation here. Okay, and so we estimate the gas for that function. We calculate all the arguments for that function, just like this. All right, amount in, amount out, path, sniper, deadline. Okay, that's the trader. And then we just swap it, and it tells us that the swap is successful. And we check the balance when it's done, and we say, if you successfully swapped tokens, you've purchased them. Okay, and if there's an error, we log the error to the console. So the last thing I want to talk about are two important settings: the amount, okay, and then the slippage. All right. So the amount is, we want 0.25, okay, WETH. And then we want 0.25 WETH is how much you're willing to spend on new tokens, all right? So if you're going to make a speculative bet on this, this is how much you'd be willing to spend. And then the slippage is just 5%. So we're going to up this actually for this tutorial. We're going to do 10% because the bot, if you see the bot blow up on you, you might have to adjust this value. Slippage is something you always have to worry about on DEXs, okay? We're going to go to 10%, but now let's just that's how the bot works. It's listening. Now let's actually create the pair. So we're going to go to the script here for create pool. And then we're going to, add liquidity, which on the back end is going to create the pool, and the bot's going to hear that, and it's going to fire. So let's do it. All right, and boom, there we go. So our script prepared to create the Uniswap pool. It approved the WETH. It approved the Dapp tokens. It created the Uniswap pool, and pool created successfully. And so you can see here the bot. It's listening for new pairs. The pairs detected. Here's the first token. Here's the second token. Here's the pair address. Okay. It checked liquidity, swapped the WETH, swap successful. And then we are swapped for 0.25 WETH for 49 Dapp tokens. Awesome. All right. So that is how you create a coin sniping bot. All right. That basically just buys a little bit of new cryptocurrency anytime that a new one is listed on Uniswap. So of course, this is a, be careful about running this on the mainnet, of course. There's no guarantee that this is going to be a profitable strategy. It's not what I'm telling you in this video, but this is a cool idea that you can use as a launch pad, to create your own bots. All right. So you can play with the slippage amount here. You can play with the amount that you want to buy. Of course, you don't necessarily want to buy 25 WETH or 0.25 WETH worth of a new coin every time. Maybe on a low cost chain, you could, make this a few dollars or something like that and just see what happens. But yeah, definitely, you run this at your own risk on the mainnet, but this is how you do it without having to risk any real money in development. All right. So that's all I got for today. As always, smash that like button down below, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. That really helps these videos out so that more people can learn about blockchain. And if you like what you saw in this video and you want more videos like this, then I can show you to master blockchain step-by-step start to finish over at dappuniversity.com/bootcamp. You do have to be an expert to get started today. Again, I've helped people with zero coding experience become real-world blockchain developers, create their own projects in a matter of months. So that's all I've got. And until next time, thanks for watching Dapp University.